Hey guys, Avoiding Pitfalls Lesson 9. Today we start adding the meat to your loop and we take it even further. So this is going to be a 3-step process in this lesson. So once again, if you find this overwhelming, you can break this down into more than one day if necessary. So let me give you a couple tips for each step. So the first step is the adding the meat to your song step. So this is happening on the 8-bar loop level. So what you want to do is you want to fill out that loop and kind of make it sound like the main groove that's going to carry the whole song, right? And during all of these 3 steps, it's going to be very important to pay attention to your reference track. It's going to make your life so much easier. So I hope that you took my advice and started your 8-bar loop with a reference track, because it's really going to come in handy right now. So what I consider the meat to be is all the main elements that make up your style. These elements might include percussion, pads, drones, arpeggiated parts or melodies, definitely a chord arrangement, stabs, shakers, or things like that. The one thing that I would hold off on right now is writing a lead part, because it doesn't make complete sense to write a lead over your main 8-bar loop. Usually a lead is something that happens somewhere in the middle of the song or whatever. So we're going to wait until another step to do that. But everything else, just to kind of fill it out and make it sound, like the heart of your song, should be put into your 8-bar loop at this time. Part 2 of this lesson is stretching your song out. And this should be pretty easy and quick to do. You're basically going to stretch your song out anywhere between 6 and 7 minutes. I recommend that you just go the same length as your reference track. And then what you want to do is look for any breaks throughout the song, any breakdowns or small breaks or whatever. And wherever you see those, just remove the kick drum. It's just a very easy way to make it sound like a more structured song. And I already explained that in the training video, so you should already have that down. And I should also mention that it's very important at this point that you warp your reference track so it lines up properly with your current song's tempo. If you don't warp your track, then where you're putting breaks and stuff, it's going to fall on really weird times and it's just not going to work properly. So part 3, once you've stretched out your track and dropped the kicks where the breaks are as a reference point, then you're going to work on your intro and outro, which are essentially kind of the same thing, only in reverse of each other. Now, some people are making their song in a style that's not really standard to like the 32-bar intro and outro. So whenever in doubt, go with your reference song instead of the 32 bars that I discussed in the training. My goal is for you to make your style and understand that style. And also remember that even though you're being guided by a reference track as far as your arrangement, at a later time you can always go back and fine-tune the length of different sections of your song. So that's not really going to be a problem. We're just giving you a starting point. In a lot of cases, I will borrow the arrangement of another track, and then I will find that parts of it don't work as well as I think they should for my particular track. And then I just change the lengths. I shorten certain things and I lengthen other things. And that, once again, that's really easy to do, and we'll get to that in a later lesson. And then finally, when all of this is done, that's a better time to start thinking about your lead part and working on kind of a basic lead part. And you have plenty of time to work on that throughout the other lessons. But it is something that you're going to want to think about, because there's not going to be another lesson that tells you specifically to work on your lead part. Once you've kind of finished these 3 steps, then you're completely open to work on that and it'll make sense. So that's all I've got for you today. I will talk to you guys tomorrow.